Hey guys! Get over here. Mark's trying to chicken out on me. Hey, pull over here. Okay. We'll wait and see if anybody comes on. You'll see like little comments come at the bottom. See right there. Amy's watching us. Sherry, Ashley. See, it shows you right there.
Mm-hmm.
Get over here. Guys, let me tell you. I just put some eye cream on Mark because he has puffiness. And he said, I hope it hurries and works fast. Come on, let's watch. Okay, so we had... Mark, get over here. Okay, so we've had a few friends that have asked us actually to do this. They've just said that... where we've been married so long and together so long, and that we could, you know, give a few pointers. We have laughed about this, you all. So anyways, one of the first things we were going to do is just kind of, well, most of you know us or you wouldn't be watching us, but kind of tell you a little bit about our story. She said he's hiding. Look, put your arm around Debbie, Mark.
I had it around her at church and it went to sleep.
So honestly, guys, this is a big reason our marriage has been successful is because he's crazy and he's funny all the time and he's always joking around, and that's kind of what gets us through it, I guess. Not that we haven't had tough times. Yes, we have. That's very normal. And probably 99% of it's been me, I'll admit. But we met when I was 12 years old and he was 14.
Wait, I could go to jail.
You were 14.
Oh, okay.
So we met on the CB radio, which is the internet back in the day, I guess you would say. Before my parents got divorced, we actually, they got a CB radio, and his mom bought him a CB radio.
Is anybody on here?
Yeah, there's all kinds of people watching us. See, wave, hey. And so we just kind of, my parents, you gave yourself handles. For instance, my mom was Honeysuckle, and my dad was Computer Man because he dealt with computer stuff. So they gave me the handle Lollipop. And so
I used to lick her all the time.
Shut up, this is kid friendly.
Lollipop.
So anyways, his name was Poncho. So he lived on the Virginia side, and I lived on the Tennessee side. So we probably never would have, met at that point in time. And so I started hearing him talk to people on there, and I thought, I really like the sound of his voice. I kept saying that, So one of our friends happened to know him, and she introduced us at Hill's department store. I know you all know where that is. So we go to the parking lot, and he's there with one of his girlfriends, well, not girlfriends, but friends that was a girl. And they were kind of hanging out. And we met for the first time, and I was just...
No, it was actually with Dynamite and Sue.
Dynamite and Sweet Sue.
You was talking about Blackie.
Yeah, Blackie was his friend. So anyways, we all met that way. And
I gotta keep her straight.
And I asked for, I said, oh, I was so nervous. I was so young, and so naive and so nervous. And I said, oh, I want popcorn. And he gave me money.
She cost me every cent. Worst mistake ever made. Get that bag of popcorn at Hills. Never stopped after that.
He's taken care of me ever since. So, of course, we were too young to date, or I was. So we talked all the time on the phone. Back then, of course, there were no cell phones, so we talked on the regular phone. And his mom started bringing him down to see me at my house, and her and my mom became friends. So they got really close.
That was after I wore out 3 bicycles.
Yeah, he rode his bicycle down to see me. He would meet me sometimes when I got off the bus from school, and we'd go to Burger King on the Parkway, because I lived right down on the Parkway, and we would get French fries. He would buy me French fries. And he would ride his bike all the way down he lived up behind...
this is a one-sided financial arrangement.
North Bristol, where Shears is. He lived up back that way, and I lived down past Hill's Department Store in Blue Ridge Subdivision. So he would ride his bike all that way to see me. So he must have liked me, you know. And we just we were together, and we would see each other when we could. And then we started dating. When my mom actually let me go out with him in a car when I was 14 and he was 16, because she trusted him. And so they were like part of the family, you know. At Christmas, my mom and his mom were such good friends, and they would, you know, we didn't have to worry about going different places. They would always be there with us. And so of course we broke up a couple of times for like a weekend or something. Probably because he probably cheated on me or something.
Probably my fault.
It probably was. But anyways, we got back together, and you know, we made it work. I was 18, you were 20 when we got married, right?
Yeah. You questioning it?
And that was a crazy day. I'll never forget. Everybody kept saying, "You're too young. Do not get married. You're 18 years old. Do not get married." And nothing doing till we got married.
But we did have a lavish wedding, though.
No, we did have a lavish engagement. Tell them about our engagement, Mark. Tell them where you proposed to me.
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
Where else? The Bristol Mall. / casino.
Gosh, y'all, that is the truth. We went, I was like 17, and we went to the mall one day, and was it Zales or K's? Zales. And he said, "You want to come look at rings?" And I'm like, "Yeah," you know, I was hinting around all this stuff. And so we went and looked at them, and I saw one I liked, and you said, "Do you want that one? Isn't that right?" And I said, "Yeah." And I thought, it's kind of weird, but yeah, I want it. So I think you put it on layaway, didn't you, or something?
Probably.
You were like 19. And
kill as much time as I could.
And so Amy Bradley said, "What a gamble, LOL." So we went back. We went and sat on a booth, you know, in one of the little benches. Yeah, bench. Sorry. And we were sitting there, and he goes, "Well, I guess since I just bought you a ring, will you marry me?" And I was like, "Oh yes," you know.
There was a fake tree there, so I kind of thought I was in the Bahamas, you know.
So, like, he kissed me right there in the mall, and we decided to get married.
Always, when they closed the mall or remodeled it, I always wanted to go back and buy that bench, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, that would have been sweet. Why didn't you do that?
I must have been working.
So, of course, we didn't have a lavish wedding because, you know, neither side of my family could afford it. So, we just had a very simple wedding. At our church, Emmanuel Baptist Church is where we went at the time. And we had our reception at the church. Our weddings were nothing like our daughters, let me tell you. We had paper plates. Of course, our wedding has lasted, so that tells you something.
Sheet cake, some of those little mint things.
Yeah, we had nuts. Cake, mints, and nuts.
And punch. And that was it.
And we had like the paper plates that had the bells that looked like wedding, you know, gear on it or whatever. We had that.
I was on Valium.
You really was. And so when we got ready to leave, we both had Roger said, "Get in the camera." See, they can't see
Roger
you.
Who?
Chief.
You only need to see half of him. He can't take the whole thing.
So I know y'all are probably getting bored of all this stuff, but we just kind of wanted to tell our backstory a little bit. So you see, look, you can see when you're in here. Right there you are. Okay. So when we were leaving for our honeymoon, this is how we left. And this is how you can tell we were young, because we both had on jeans, and they were the denim, the dark denim that you roll up at the bottom. We had, what else did we have? What kind of shoes?
Patent leather.
No, it wasn't patent leather. It was loafers. We had matching loafers.
I don't know what we had on.
Then we had, this just goes to show you how young we were. Then we had light blue t-shirts that said, "Just Married, Mark and Debbie" on the back.
It's dorky.
They were dorky, but I kept those for years. I mean, they may still be packed away somewhere. I don't know.
I bet it don't fit.
I bet it don't either.
I weighed 168 pounds when I got married.
Yeah, and I weighed 98. So you can tell. Probably
I just
wouldn't
weigh
have fit.
170 now.
So we went to Gatlinburg on our honeymoon because at the time Mark worked at Valleydale, and I hadn't got a job yet at that time. So he worked at Valleydale, and they wouldn't let him off for his honeymoon. So we went like 3 days for the weekend, and stayed, and we remembered our room number and everything. And a few years ago, he took me back there.
The 30th.
Our 30th anniversary, he took us back there, and he got the same room and everything. The hotel's name was different, but it was the same. It was still there and everything. And I just thought that was sweet. And he had bought me a bear. You know, in Gatlinburg, there's bears everywhere. Stuffed animal. They know that. So a stuffed animal bear, and I kept it. I still have it all these years. Well, he had that bear. How did you get that bear there?
I got it out of storage.
I know, but
I put it in the trunk.
Without me seeing, how did you do that?
I hid it.
Oh, well, anyways, the bear was there with us, you know, that he had bought me on our honeymoon. So that was so funny. I love that. That was the sweetest thing ever. But on July 26th this year, we'll be married 39 years. So that right there tells you how old we are. So, I mean, and you know, guys, listen, it has not been the easiest.
I'm drinking Coke, not alcohol.
You know, we've had our ups and downs. Everybody does. Nobody's perfect. No marriage is perfect. But for those of you out there that just give up, it's not good. If you really love somebody, if you really love somebody and you're committed to your vows, for better or for worse, you know, sickness and health and all that, then you're going to work through it. You know, you don't just give up. You know, I mean, if you're in an abusive relationship or somebody's cheated on you a million times or something like that, sure, you know, get out, start over. But if it's just problems that occur, life problems day to day, you've got to stick it out. I know that when we were in our 30s, probably late 20s, early 30s were probably the hardest times of our marriage because our kids were little. You know, we had 2 babies that were 2.5 years apart, and he was starting his career. That's when he first went into management at Reynolds, and he was gone a lot. He had to go out of town all the time. And I was stuck at home, you know, working a full-time job and taking care of 2 babies. And then his mom got really sick for years. She was sick for years. Yeah. And we helped take care of her. And that was hard. That was a struggle too, because she was in Atlanta in the hospital for so long. You were gone a lot with her. So he would be out of town during the week for work, and then he would be staying in Atlanta with his mom. So it was really hard. You know, it was hard. I was like I was taking care of the babies. Yeah. And never seeing him, and he was missing so much at home. And you know, those were hard times, but we made it through. We just kept going. And I think there's only one time in our life that we've ever went to a marriage counselor, and that was like twice. And it was silly. It was all silly, but you know, we just trying to stay in church. We raised our girls in church. You know, that's what got us through, because we had friends from church, people that prayed, and you know, people that were always there for us. And that's such an important part of marriage.
Well, there's no perfect marriage, that's for sure. Marriage is far from perfect.
Far from perfect.
And, you know, a lot of people think, oh, you all have a perfect marriage. Well, you know, we don't have a perfect marriage. It's a day-to-day thing. You work at it, you know, and it makes me feel bad when people say that a lot of times, because I know we're not perfect, you know, but you just got to work at it, you know, and that's the main thing, give and take, you know, give and take.
Yep, and we've learned a lot through the years. I mean, you know, like I know at times I've had to change a lot of things and change a lot of ways, you know, myself. You got to look at yourself. You can't just look at that other person and say, oh my gosh, you're doing this or you're doing that. And we're all guilty of that, you know, but you've got to try to be, like, understand, you know, their feelings. And you really have to get in the picture together. So you got to be together.
Okay.
But
I'm out of my element.
Yeah, he's not. He wasn't real. We talked about doing this.
She's lucky I'm here.
Yeah, We talked about doing this, and we have friends that ask us to do it. And first we were like, oh gosh, because when you go live, there's no going back. Whatever you say or do, you can mess up.
Okay, well that's our lives. We'll talk to y'all later.
But we just kind of wanted to get on here because okay, our daughters have been through divorce. Everybody knows that, and it's sad because where we've stuck through, our marriage and stuff, and then you really want that for your kids too. And then it don't happen. But, it's just something that's meant to be for some reason, and you got to make the best of it. And, we thank God that Brooke has an awesome, awesome man in her life. We've got a great son-in-law, and we're praying for Brittany to find, someone for the same. And, everybody has rough times in their life. Nobody has perfect times all the time. So you guys just got to work at it.
I think the younger generation thinks, we're like a throwaway society now. Marriage is the same thing. Well, we'll just get a divorce and get somebody else,
They make it so easy.
Yeah, so that's what we'd like to see change is the obligation to each other, and least little thing that happens, you can't run away. You can go away for a little while but come back, get you, collect yourself and come back, let yourself cool down, because when you're mad, you say and do things that you may regret.
And it's not always greener on the other side. People think, oh my gosh, I'm just not happy. I'm tired of this person. I don't love them anymore. I'm just going to go find me somebody else. Well, that person is not going to be perfect either. They're not going to be perfect. You're going to get in the relationship with that person. You're going to start seeing that it's life. You're going to have issues just like you did before, maybe different issues. But you are going to have issues because that's part of life, So, just want to be honest about it. That,
We'd like to say that this comes to you from Food City sponsoring this. Thank you, Food City.
He's crazy. He really is. But we love each other. We have a good time together, and we try to spend as much time together as we can. And you guys who have little kids, honestly, you need to find somebody to watch them at least every other week, weekend, or just go away for a weekend. Or if you don't have the money to go away, have a romantic night at home and have someone watch the kids.
Go parking.
Because your kids are, of course, yes, number one, they're the most important things in your life. But if you don't have that relationship with each other, at the end of the day, you're not going to be there for your kids because you're not going to have a marriage for your kids. So you need time alone. You need time together. We did that a lot when they were younger. We just kept going out, and we had a hard time getting babysitters sometimes. My mom wasn't real keen on babysitting, and his mom she did till she got sick. So, we'd have to hire babysitters and stuff, but we made sure that we did it. And then our best friends, Todd and Janet, we would change out with them. We keep their boys and they keep our girls, and we would go on dates like that. That worked out really good too. So there are ways. I know you work all day, you work all week, you don't want to leave your kids, but hey, to go out with your husband for dinner or a weekend away, it's so worth it. Because think about this, when your kids are grown and gone, which will be there before you know it, how's your relationship at the end of the day? Are you going to sit around and think, oh my gosh, our life was our kids. We don't really know each other now, So it's really, hi Norma. So it's really hard to do in a way because you're kind of torn. You're like, okay, do I leave my kids? I've left them all week for work. Do I leave them again? But it's worth it in the long run. At least every other week. Just make it a priority with your spouse. And do little things for them, like leave them a note or, a note on their car or on the counter when they wake up in the morning about, hope you have a great day. I miss you when I'm not with you. Stuff like that. Mark does stuff like that for me all the time.
I think what happens is, the two of you without kids, you're giving each other attention to each other, and then the kids come along and they get all attention. Mm-hmm. And then the spouses don't show attention really that much anymore to each other, and then that's where the problem starts to begin, I believe.
Yeah, that is a lot of the problem.
You start missing attention from the other, and that leads to trouble.
Because really and truly, of course, God should come first, and then your spouse, and then your kids. But those are your kids, and you're going to always make them a priority. And you should. But I mean, in reality, you've always got to keep that relationship with you and your husband, you and your fiance, boyfriend, whatever, so you can be there together when the kids are gone. So that's
attention, not detention. I get detention a lot.
Oh my gosh, he's crazy. And one more thing before we go, and we may do this from time to time if you all guys enjoyed it and you weren't bored to death and you wanted to do it, wanted to watch it.
Only a Food City sponsors this.
It's crazy, I'm telling you. But what was I going to say? Now you made me forget.
I do this from time to time.
Yeah. But there was something else I was going to say that was important, and you made me forget. See, now we're going to get in a fight over this. No. But, I mean, sometimes, we fuss at each other, don't we? Don't we? We do. But we get, I know what I was going to say. Our fights, and this is the way it should be, unless it's something so major that you can never get over, we get it out, and then we stop. We don't go back there. We're okay right after that. Okay, well, we had a little disagreement or whatever. It's all fine now. You just can't nag and keep it going forever, and keep saying, oh, you did this or you did that. You just try to change it and make things better. That's what we've learned, isn't it?
For sure.
Yeah. And I will have to say, he has never slept on the couch, or I've never slept on the couch due to an argument. We don't care. We just get in the bed and good night, whatever, So I think that's silly too, but
we don't have a couch.
Yes, we do have a couch. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching us. I hope we didn't look too stupid, but we're just being honest. We're just being real.
Any questions?
Anybody have any questions? Comments? Concerns? You know what they say?
I'd like to officially retire tonight from this position.
No, you're not. I don't know if these comments and stuff are slow or not. I'm trying to see. Oh, thank you, Norma. I love my Norma. I work with her. So sweet. Why are you not in the picture? I don't understand. But guys, I just wanted to thank everyone for watching us. Thank you, Brooke. Oh my gosh, I have to tell y'all this little story though. So your daughter Brooke.
There's only one Brooke.
So Brittany and Brooke, of course, are probably just like, oh my God, they're doing this. But Brittany's at work. But when I told Brittany we were thinking about doing it, she just laughed about it. She thought it was funny. So I tell Brooke, we're thinking about it. You are not. Yeah, we're thinking about it. Well, what are you going to talk about? I said, just about us and our life. And she goes, oh my gosh. But she just told me we did good, so that's sweet. Oh, thank you, Nikki. A-Rant approved. So Nikki approved. So Nikki approves.
I love her doing.
But listen, we love seeing all our friends on Facebook and seeing all your pictures and your posts and everything. Sometimes I'm on Facebook way too much and Mark fusses at me, but I just think it's fun to see what all our friends are doing. And I have so many friends on here.
No, the only time I fuss at her is when she does it at dinner or when we're eating.
Yeah, and he's right. I mean, I'm bad about that. And, that's something I need to work on. I'll sit here and admit it. I need to not be on my phone as much when we're out to dinner or with family.
I think when you go out to dinner with your family or significant other, the phone should be in your pocket off and pay attention to each other.
That's true. I agree.
It's like the old cartoon used to be where two people sitting there with the paper up in front of their face at a meal,
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing with a cell phone.
But have I not done better?
You have.
I've been leaving my phone in the car
B+.
99% of the
Except
time.
for lunch today.
Well, yeah, I did take it to lunch. We had lunch with Brooke and Kaylin, so, that didn't count. What kind of
doing better, though.
I am doing better. So I think, we get used to having that phone with us all the time, and it's just like, it's a habit more than anything.
It's a deterrent to kill relationships.
Well, I believe it. And Lord, what this world is coming to today, it's crazy, y'all. We need to pray for our country all the way around.
I've been out and seen entire families, like mother and daddy and 2 or 3 kids, and every one of them be on the phone and not say a word almost the whole time. I just watched them, it's crazy.
I know, I see that a lot too. But thank you guys so much for watching us. And we're going to come back and see you guys again and maybe talk to you about a few things that we've been through with, changing jobs, or things that went on with your kids, or, just how we handled certain situations, which may not have been the best way to handle it, but it's always fun to know how other people handle different things. And I would love comments from people.
Be a good forum for people to talk to each other.
Yes, if you guys want to, say anything with us or have any questions or anything, we'd love to have conversation about things. That would be great. But we've had a great day. We went to church this morning, and we went to the grocery store. A 30-minute trip turned into almost 2 hours, didn't it? Because
you can't go nowhere with Debbie. She knows everybody in the freaking town.
Well, we had a business for 8 years. Of course I know a lot of people. Plus, our kids went to school with people. You just learn to know a lot of people. But we ran into 3 different people that we knew, and we just talked, and we hadn't seen them in a while, so it was nice. Good to do that.
We'd also like to thank the Virginia Lottery for sponsoring this.
I wish we'd won the lottery last night. That would have been great. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, thank you, Amy. Amy says that she's going to challenge themselves to put their cell phones up. So, gosh, if we did anything today, we help with that. Listen, guys, I hope y'all have a great rest of your Sunday and have a great week at work. And we'll get back on here another day, right?
Peace out.
Bye, guys.